my hair look like this.
Oh, man, what you want to make your hair look like that for?
Will you let the man tee you off? You yap worse than 6 barbers.
Welcome back to another episode of the Your Barber Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Ballad, a.k.a. Matty Blades, owner of Sharp's Barber Suite, located in 77 12th Street, Midtown Atlanta. This is episode number 48. If you're new to the show, hit subscribe. We always make relatable content. We're bringing on guests to talk about things in the barber industry. Today, we're tinkering into the new year. We're going to tinker with the structure of the show a little bit. In today's show, we got a couple guys, a couple barbers, one a grizzled veteran in the game, and one apprenticing under the grizzled veteran. Let's go ahead and bring them on without further ado. We got Miguel Rivera making his return to the show. And we got Malcom Alexander making the debut to the barber industry. You sent balloons all right. How'd you do that right there?
Update.
It's that update, sending gestures, the thumbs up. How's everyone doing tonight?
Fucking tired.
Great. Damn.
Just finished up a day at the shop. Miguel?
Indeed. Yep, and they're taking no extra clients today.
Squeezing everyone in before the good old holiday, right?
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah, I squeezed in a couple guys today. Came in on my day off. That's the beauty of working in the suite. You can kind of work on the days you really don't even want to, but sometimes you have to on the holiday run.
That's right. I mean, it's the time of year that we got to take advantage of that because, we go through our slow periods during the year and do what you can,
right.
At the end of the last quarter.
We're about to hit that slow period, right after the holiday. This is our busy season. We all met working at the Anguish Barber,
Right.
Which sadly we were all, forced to depart, go our separate ways. Malcom here, were you in the shop before I started?
Yeah, I was there before you started.
Okay, yeah. How long was it? Were you there?
I started at the Anguish May of 2022.
May of 2022. Nice. Yeah, I think I came in like July or something.
Like during the summertime, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. At that time, you were kind of apprenticing under another grizzled veteran, David Rodriguez, but it was in a different role.
Yeah,
so Malcom,
more so management, yeah.
So explain to the audience what you did at the barbershop.
At the Anguish,
the
Anguish, I was mainly associate / doing, management experiences and stuff like that. So hosting guests and, getting familiar with like the bartending and then back end stuff like that, as far as like making sure bills and stuff stay paid. And yeah, also watching over clients and things like that, and watching and observing barbers as they cut hair too.
Yeah, you were a man that wore many hats, right? You were doing everything you're basically asked of. I mean, top to bottom. So, which is not an easy job, but I feel like while you did that,
it can be a lot, be overwhelming. Yeah,
definitely overwhelming. While you did that, I feel like you got a kind of a backstage view of barbering and like what we deal with and like all the scheduling for sure, and then. You could always watch us from afar and understand what we're doing. So that kind of probably led you to pushing you over the top, maybe, to getting into this.
Actually, people just inquire me about why aren't you a barber? You have all the aspects to be a barber, except just, they didn't even know what my skill set was or whether I had previous experience as a barber or not. But it was just based off my customer service and how I treated clients. They was like, I got asked by David Rodriguez and Will, have you ever thought about being a barber? And I was like, no, not really. But y'all put it in my head, so now I'm thinking about it. And that's how it all started. Just being asked, hey, have you ever thought about being a barber?
And did you like mess around at the house or anything, cutting hair?
Oh, I was cutting hair like during the pandemic. I was cutting my own hair and people in the neighborhood. So during the pandemic, when the barbershops closed, I was forced to have to, taper myself up and learn how to guards and transition from guard numbers and stuff like that. I pretty much learned that during the pandemic.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, I mean it's sad what happened to the shop. I mean, you can go back a couple episodes if you want the full story there about what happened, but it kind of
everyone has their version of what happened.
right. Right. I mean, well, yeah. From the view of most of us, I feel like that was what happened, but yeah, it was definitely unfortunate, but yeah, so I mean it kind of forced you to kind of make a move into what was next for you, right?
Yeah, I had to. Yeah.
So let's get like a life update. So we all kind of, Miguel, you found yourself, and where'd you find yourself looking around, or what was kind of the thinking after the shop closed? What were you like, okay, what am I doing now?
Well, I mean, given the turmoil that was going on since Will's departure, it forced me to start exploring other options, even way before the shop closed. But it was hard to find a quality shop that I felt I can grow in, and that could actually use my expertise, nearly 20 years of professional haircutting. Where I didn't feel like I was just walking into another shop that just wasn't looking to grow, or my coworkers weren't looking to grow beyond where they're at.
Yeah.
So definitely working at the Anguish was a really good experience for me because it really exposed me to a different type of clientele that I was already used to. And after it closed down, I took 2 weeks off. I didn't want to look at shops. I didn't want to, think about cutting hair. I even consider maybe a career change.
Right.
But there was one former coworker that she had left before the gauntlet fell, and she hit me up, letting me know that asking me if I already landed somewhere, and if I didn't, that she had a spot that I can go to, where she had once worked before, and she said it was a pretty good environment, and that I could potentially be a good fit there. So she sent me the info, and that's where I landed. So I'm working at Geno's currently. It's a very good place to work at. I'll say that. Pretty chill. I like the people I'm working with, and I don't get too many intrusions in terms of how I'm conducting my business.
There you go.
It's great. But it's always good to kind of get checked on a little, make sure that even though you get this much experience, sometimes you want to kind of lean back a little bit. So you want to have someone like Will was checking on you, like, "Yo, you good?"
Yeah.
So that's one thing I would miss about working with Will.
Yeah.
But outside that, yeah, man, landed on my feet, and that's where I found out that Malcom received the same phone call, and we ended up working in the same spot.
That's nice. Yeah, going back to that push, like I don't have that push, so sometimes it's hard for me to kind of like evaluate myself because I'm just trying to like maintain a feeling, and I'm like kind of like, how am I doing? Like I think I'm doing good, but there's no one there to really say like, you could be doing this, you could be doing that, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I'm finding that balance of just pushing myself financially, but not overexerting myself to exhaustion to where I'm kind of finding that balance. And it sounds like in Geno's, you're not kind of forced to do too much or too little even either. So
no, I mean the standard. Every shop that you go to, they'll have some sort of standards. Sometimes it's unspoken. Others they make sure you understand what the standard is.
Yeah.
Like at Anguished and at Geno's, they say, look, this is what the standard is. Other mom and pop shops that aren't in the mindset of wanting to franchise, they'll just take you in as long as you know how to cut and maybe have some clientele.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't noticed much of a standard being set. You know,
Yeah.
you just have to pretty much be forced to have to see what's going on around you and follow the old saying, when in Rome.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what the position that Malcolm is in right now, being brand new to the industry.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, a good owner says, like, they set the standards, right? But they want to put you in a position to succeed too. Want to make sure you're comfortable enough to perform at a consistent level, at least, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Malcolm found himself apprenticing under you, correct?
I mean, officially, not really officially, but I definitely had taken him under my wing in a way that I'm not on top of him, making sure he's doing everything that he needs to do. I'm allowing him grace in terms of feeling it out on his own.
That's the best way. Diving in head first, just kind of.
Yeah, well, I mean, Malcolm is not afraid to ask questions. That's one thing I appreciate. Right. But he's also not afraid to take on the challenge, trying to figure it out before he starts asking questions.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, he makes it easy. Yeah.
Yeah. How you feel about that, Malcolm? You think you're in a good spot to kind of feel things out on your own and grow that way too?
Oh yeah, definitely. Geno's is an opportunity for me to man, I hit the ground running. I mean, that's just being completely honest. Like, I hit the ground running. They, like, the people around me believed in me more than I did. And that's starting at Anguished. Like, from the moment I told everybody that I wanted to be a barber, everybody gave me everything that I needed to be a barber. I didn't pay for nothing. So that was confirmation just to start before I even got behind the chair. Before I got behind the chair, I had all the equipment that I needed to start working. So, but with it being at Geno's and like working under Miguel and the other barbers, just being a sponge and being able to just soak in and wanting to soak in and take in all of that knowledge and expertise, from the people who've been using these scissors and shears for years. I just got my hands on a pair and I'm, trying to make it do what it do. And they're around me and they seeing the most important thing, they seeing the initiative that I take, first and foremost, before they even give criticism. But they see how I'm open to the criticism, and that makes them want to pour into you even more because they see, at his big age, he still wants to like absorb and ask questions and take in the knowledge and stuff from the years of experience that the barbers around me have. So yeah, I love it. Like working on the Miguel, sometimes he'll come off smart about it, but I don't take stuff like that personal because I understand where he's coming from. Like he's like, bro, I see it in you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to help you like be the best that you can be. He's like, but just listen.
Yeah.
Yes, it's dope.
I mean, you just listen. I mean, yeah, be a sponge because I mean everyone brings something different to the table.
Everybody.
All the
I learned something from everybody. Yeah.
But there's a baseline knowledge and foundation that you have to have for sure. So yeah, listen to Miguel. He's going to guide you right. Listen to everyone that's kind of in the superior position for you. It's going to help. But yeah, I mean, I see you walking around. You kind of come into the loft sometimes. And you're just glowing, dude. I can tell you're like happy. Yeah. You got like a purpose about you. You're feeling good. So that's dope, man. I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
you just had a birthday.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, December 14th. 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Yeah, we're gonna record this yesterday morning, and then I was like, let's just reschedule. Get your rest, King.
That was all on me, though. Yeah, I needed that break. But yeah, man. Yeah, turned 37.
37. All right. So changing your career like that, I mean, did you ever think? What'd you think you would end up doing for a career?
On a restaurant. Like when I was 18, I always thought I was gonna own a restaurant. Because I've always learned how to cook. my dad taught me how to cook growing up, and I've always cooked for my parents and then other family members. So I always knew like the food industry was going to be my bread and butter. I thought I was going to always be in the food industry. I was going to have me a brick and mortar, open me up a restaurant, maybe selling soul food, breakfast food, cafe foods, desserts, and stuff like that. So that's what I always thought. That was what I was going to be doing, but it's not the
I mean,
case.
that's the dope part about barbering, dude. I mean, it can elevate other avenues for you.
Oh, yeah.
It can
Definitely.
really open up doors for you that, the barbering's always going to be there for you, kind of, even if you stray away. And yeah, dude, I mean, it's just going to lead to bigger and better things. It's going to illuminate everything for you. So
Right. I see it already. It's happening early though, for real. So it's exciting.
absolutely, man. Yeah, you just gotta be patient at the same time and not chase
At the
too
same
hard right
time.
now, and just
Mhm.
this is like the time you will just take as much time as you can and just learn and just kind of try to be as perfect as you can. You know what I mean? And then the time thing will come, and then yeah, I mean, I just remember
Yeah.
my levels. Like I worked in a shop that was walk-in only, kind of built up that like high stress tolerance, and but just still trying to have the quality while people are watching me, waiting on me. So that was a little
Mhm.
stressful. It's like stress training. Like, so, okay, how do you handle the stress? Like they put those doctors in their residencies working all the hours at nights, fucking stress them. Okay, how you handle? Okay, good. Then I was in a situation where I kind of got to set my own prices, but I still had a boss that was needy, who would get a lot out of me. But I kind of like built the confidence there when I worked in PA to like, okay, I can kind of build this thing my way, but I'm still an employee to a degree. And then when we
Mhm.
worked at Anguish, it was like the major leagues, the high tier clientele, the expectations, the timing, and now I kind of got to use all that and to develop my own way and be happy with it and everything while ensuring the quality's there. That's my thing. Just making sure the client comes back and maintaining the quality and the performance while feeling good. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
get all
I
three of
mean,
those.
and that's part of setting a standard,
Yeah.
and that's something that I've been taking for years into account. When I first got into the business, working at the Dominican barbershop that I helped build up, I was there 11 years. From the beginning, it was just the owner and myself. Even though I was an employee, I always figured, like the shop was mine, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you should treat your business at all times,
Exactly.
whether or not you work in someone else's shop or working in a suite or finally owning your own shop. That's something that sets you up for the potentiality of, ownership. Because if you can set the standard, keep the standard, and keep improving on that standard by raising the quality of service, raising the quality of your skill set, continuing education, all that, all that is just building on levels on top of levels on top of levels. And I believe is first setting a good, strong foundation. And, and that's what Malcom is doing right now. He is a very, I would say, fortunate position to have come in not only during a very pivotal time where the barber industry is now recognizing itself and its value.
Yeah.
Um,
And they're not requiring as much to get your license either. So now's the
I
time
don't
where
know.
people are going to separate themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just really like, 'cause again, I've been on this 20 someone years professionally, shit, nearly 32 years total. No, about 28 years total. Doing this, cutting hair since I first picked up a pair of clippers. The industry has changed quite a bit after COVID. The standard was definitely controlled by the clientele. Price points controlled by the clientele, and it didn't matter how much someone wanted to be the professional. Price point was always dictated by clientele. Obviously, there's business, but you also have to, learn how to value yourself. So, for a long time, barbers had a hard time raising their prices. And after COVID, and people just practically begging, risking their lives for a fucking haircut,
Yeah.
right? Even telling me, Miguel, I'll pay whatever you want.
Right.
It never felt right for me to take advantage of my clients and say, Miguel, just name a price. I'll come to you. You come to me.
Yeah.
Dude, really? It's a haircut. I'm sure you can. This is not going to last forever.
Yeah.
Right. So,
It lasts a lot longer than we thought it was.
what, 6 weeks? I mean, 6 weeks, if while you're in the middle of it, yeah, you're like, damn, you don't know when.
That was it?
6 weeks.
I guess it was kind of
But if
couple months.
But I guess it depends on you though, because you wasn't in Georgia back then.
I was about to say in
Right.
Georgia it was 6 weeks, but everywhere else.
Yeah, Georgia was 6 weeks. Everywhere
Well, it
else.
sucked too because when we were shut down in my town in PA I was living in, it was like no cases at all. And then it was like, okay, I think the coast is clear. Then all the fucking cases came while we came back. So it was kind of like touch and go a little bit. Sneaking behind closed doors. Yeah, I guess it was different. Especially, I remember like Florida like opened up like mad early.
Yeah, I think it's soon after us, or around about the time as you.
Atlanta really never closed.
Yeah, it was that was a weird time. It definitely did change everything though.
It did. But again, with that influx of people, clients, practically begging to get their haircuts, and then you got our politicians who were still out there getting their services done because supposedly they had to protect their public image, right?
Yeah.
They say fuck everybody else but them, right? So it definitely put barbers in a more even playing field, I would say, with the mindset of, okay, we are being asked to risk our lives to cut hair, that someone can wait an extra week or two or a month or however long it had to take. So that's why you see such a huge price increase so fast.
We were deemed essential.
Right. Now we're essential. But only the few, what I always call in Spanish, the sinvergüenzas, the shameless ones, right, that raised their prices way before everybody else did, charging $75 to $100 because they're swapping down there with the hot shit in Atlanta or wherever they were at. But now everybody's charging up $40, $50, and the quality of service is still shit for most of barbers.
Yeah.
Right?
If you go to Great Clips, how much is it? $40 in there, right?
No, it's like 22 last I heard. Before it was like $14. Like $14,
what about
$15.
Sports Clips?
I think they're all about the same. But
I just remember someone told me like a haircut at Walmart was like $35-$40. I was like, shit.
But maybe now.
Yeah. I mean, everyone had to kind of adjust after the price raise.
Yeah. So now circling back to the main point that I was trying to make, that Malcom is in a very good position where he's at now, because starting at Anguish, seeing what quality barbers look like, and again I attribute that to Will because he knew the type of standard he wanted to maintain for that shop and what that shop represented in the community of Midtown. So he was definitely selective on who he brought on board.
Right. He worked too hard to not be, right?
Right. No, I mean, come on, surviving COVID just months, before opening it. It just opened, then all of a sudden COVID hit. Shit.
Right. It's like now we definitely need the shit to hit.
Right. So I definitely applaud him and everybody else who made that shop work. And again, it's all about that standard, and he kept it up. He made sure, he never really spoke across a room like, "Yo, go fix that haircut" or whatever. He'll either come to you or he'll pull you aside, like, "Hey, Miguel, listen, you can probably check out this, next time, whatever." And again, that's what a proper shop owner should be doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Do it behind closed doors or just nonchalantly.
Right, not in front of clients or whatever. At least not berating the barber in front of clients.
Exactly.
Because for me, like Malcom experience with me, like this is something that I developed at the Dominican barbershop was that, I'll try to get your attention, and without saying anything, I'll probably point here, whatever, and try to tell you, hey, you may want to check this out in the mirror, right?
Yeah.
So that way, nobody's the wiser. Not the clients, not the other barbers, and that's kind of like the sign language that I developed, at that shop to help barbers improve their skills without having to, make it noticeable like, hey, why is he being checked? Does he not know what he's doing?
Yeah. And that's the thing, Malcolm. I mean, just getting a separate pair of eyeballs on your haircut, like when you're zeroed in on it, staring the whole time, and then sometimes you got to take a step back, or just get a separate pair of eyes on it from a distance, and sometimes that'll tell you a lot more than what you're seeing, right in front of you. It's weird, but no, Will definitely set that standard, man. I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool being in the same building as him now, and just swinging by, just picking his ear on things. I mean, Malcolm's came by and picked his ear on things, I'm sure, and he's a great he was a great leader and someone to model yourself after for sure. And,
absolutely, I mean, definitely a good businessman too. I mean, after him being at that suite for a year, he ended up showing me some of his books and how organized everything is. That's the importance of having also a good CPA that can help you develop a system as to how to protect yourself financially, and making sure that you give Caesar his share. Uncle Sam.
That's what I'm learning now with all the tax things I have to do. The bookkeeping stuff, it's about to learn a lot this year.
No, that's how my first year kind of was. I mean, I already had some experience working with a CPA to get my books in order while I was working at the Dominican barbershop. But when I finally went on my own, I had my own suite, that was like a reality check, and now everything is on me. The overhead, everything that had that come with, being now an actual business owner. Right? Because once you start filling out the paperwork for business ownership, get your EIN numbers and all that extra jazz.
Here we go.
I put you in a different bracket.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's scary. It was scary, but all the way worth it. Yeah, I'm just in a happy place right now. I'm trying to stay there. So that's the tax thing, that's going to be a thing that takes me away from the happy place. So I got to make sure, which I'm talking to an accountant, and it was good that I worked half of the year at the Anguished. That will kind of help me out while I shift into this S Corp thing, which will save me a lot tax wise. So just got to weather the storm for this half year. But yeah, everything's good. I mean, I definitely feel like I'm winning. So it's gratifying that.
Have you noticed a difference in your earnings?
Oh yeah.
Significant difference, right?
No doubt, yeah. And I don't think it would have happened this way if the shop didn't close. If the shop stayed open, I don't think it would have been the same. But yeah, man, it's been nice.
Right. No, but that's the importance of having experience in the industry, because I went from paying booth rent to suites ownership to working on commissions, and it pretty much already solidified my idea on commissions that for me that ain't it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's I guess it's like what you have to do today as an owner almost. It's like there's so many great benefits as an owner, but as a barber, it's kind of it's tough to buy in and be a part of the team while having that, owner mentality, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah, but what I think it is that what turns off a lot of people, let's say me, about commissions, is that there's no real transparency about what's happening with the half that I'm contributing to the shop. Right. Whatever my percentage is that the shop is taking, whether it's the lion's share, which is more than what I'm receiving, or if it's 50-50 or or if I'm getting more, it's a matter of transparency. I want to be able to see, at least for me, I would like to know where that money's going, how it's actually being invested, right?
That's a good point. I mean, especially if you're like, okay, why do I got to give up half? Well, I wonder where the other half, if it's actually going towards anything that is going to benefit the overall business.
Right. No, I mean, but for me, this is the thing. I mean, you get told, oh yeah, we're going to be that's going to outside of paying bills. Major part of that is going to be marketing, business cards, products.
Yeah.
All this extra stuff. Like, all right, that's cool. But as you go along, month after month after month, and you're slowly building up your clientele, you're like, it's not growing fast enough. At least
plus
that's
the data. Plus having the data with that other half.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when, eventually that data gets hidden from you.
Yeah.
Like they did us. Right. Eventually, we didn't have access to our numbers. I'm like, and it was like pulling teeth to get access to those numbers, and so for me is that anyone considering getting into the business, commission is always going to be better for you at the beginning, only because you don't necessarily have to worry too much about having to go out there and solicit, people to come and sit in your chair, because it's an opportunity for you to grow, and then the shop is doing all the marketing for you. But as you
plus
grow
products and things like that, next trips.
Because you think about it, like eventually it all balances itself out in a way where even if you were paying booth rent, you still got to buy your own products, your tools, your supplies, everything you need to be able to perform the service. So really, that 5 by whatever space that you have, that's your station, whatever the size that is, that's your business.
Yeah,
you're technically self-employed, a 1099. When you're paying booth rent. As a commission employee, now that kind of changes the dynamics of your standing with the government, in terms of taxes. But the pressure is not necessarily on you to be able to provide all these things for yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So
plus, it seems like from an owner standpoint, it's the best way to get everyone all on the same page, or to show. Will put on that class on how to do the executive service. I guess in a booth rent, sometimes there could be a lot of renegades. They're just showing up whenever, a lot of, I'm sure booth rental owners can kind of do a little bit of both, but it seems less likely, if you're not commissioned, to get everyone on the same, we'll have a meeting, we'll get the camaraderie going.
Right, but I mean, I think you build that, through time. That shop. I keep going back to the Dominican shop because I spent 11 years there, developing the barbers that are there. We had some that came in with us that already had years of experience cutting hair, so there wasn't really much to have to say to them in terms of their technique or their haircutting abilities, the quality that they did. But occasionally, they were bringing in whatever happens they brought in from another shop or from another time. So occasionally we had to check them, but it wasn't much. Then you had some of the guys who were still fairly new, had a few years in the industry, and the point is that we always said, look, we're here, to help each other out. Whether or not you decide to take whatever we teach you and go somewhere else, that's besides the point. That's on you. But here we want everybody to reach a certain particular level to be as equal as possible, so that way our clients feel comfortable. If I'm not available to cut their hair, at least Malcom or Matt or whoever would be, and if they're available, they can perform the same exact service, right?
No doubt.
So that's what I mean by standards, setting up the standards. So we went through a lot of barbers throughout the years guys who thought that they're going to do whatever they want to do. Eventually, they fire themselves. We didn't have to let anybody go. They didn't like it, they just left because
it does seem to kind of work itself out more
The
or less.
standard filtered them out.
Yeah,
You know.
that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, yeah, people that aren't going to make it, they normally take themselves out for
Right.
sure.
Yeah. So
Right.
so pretty much anybody who's not in agreement with the culture or the way the owner or the captain of that ship is running that ship, they don't have to jump on board or they don't have to stay. You know.
You could take a lifeboat down the path there, somewhere else.
Hey, by all means.
So
Yeah.
Malcolm,
Right.
what's been your some of your good moments you've had that were like, damn, that felt good? And then what were some of the high points and some of the low points so far that you've had through this early apprenticeship?
I always say definitely high points are reactions. Before and after reactions, totally. Those are always boost your self-esteem
No
and just
doubt.
help you feel more secure in your, in your skills. Low points is I would say definitely noticing that you probably didn't do your best job.
Oh
You can
yeah,
tell when
beating
clients, you
yourself
can tell when a
up.
client, yeah, you just beat yourself up. You can tell when a client is just okay with the haircut.
Right.
Just like, it's cool. Yeah, I like it. It's all right. But yeah, so like you just know that you can feel the energy when someone is just like
Oh yeah, dude.
okay.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you thought you killed it too. You're like,
Thought
what?
you killed it, and they
God.
looking, you turned around, you like, I'm about to show you the back, and they like, well, I guess. I mean,
What's he looking at?
but yeah, just high points is definitely reactions. Reactions
Yeah,
and
it
then
feels good,
reactions.
man. I mean, it feels good to
And
give someone what they want, and yeah.
the number one high point as an apprentice is returning clients.
Oh yeah, that feels good. Someone asking for you, someone waiting on you,
It's just like as
someone
far as like our booking system, if it's green, they pick anybody, but if it's yellow, they pick specifically you. So to see a client, and then on top of that, it's just even when you remember names.
yeah.
So I'd be like, wait,
Sick.
so and so. I booked him before, and then when they walk in, you remember their face. They'd be like, "Yo, what's going on, man? How you been? Good, right, bro? You really picked me? Yo, snap, let's go." Yeah,
Feels good, man.
it'd be lit.
Yeah,
It'd be lit.
they know what you're going through right now too, and sometimes they want to be along for the ride, the journey, and it goes back to the customer service thing where you learn kind of in the restaurants and stuff like that too. Like, sometimes customer service overrules the quality of the haircut, especially when the client knows it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they love watching the growth. I mean. I remember when I was in Arizona coming out of school, and you got people that came to you at school and then they follow you to your first shop and things like that. And I mean, that's a good feeling, man. You're going to have a lot of people like that you've gained
Oh
at
yeah.
these early
Totally.
stages. And they'll tell you like 3 years from now, 5 years from now, they'll be like, man, I remember when you started, like, this is crazy. Like, so yeah, man, it's going to be an awesome feeling.
Yeah, and I'm just man, I'll never just forget my experience at the Anguish. The Anguish allowed me, just being a beginner barber, an apprentice, the Anguish really allowed me to know, what is the standards that I have for my career going forward. Totally, just the level of just high class, just with everything with the Anguish, and then learning from trial and error with being behind with a client and how to deal with that. I learned all of that working under wheel and stuff at the Anguish, and yeah, I can take all of
Just
that
seeing
out
us
of
go through it too.
and yeah, seeing y'all go through it,
Keeping our hair, and we're like fucking sweating, trying to catch up, running behind. Like, the shit's real in there, man. That was the field.
I have to take the heat for it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because
Right, yeah.
in charge. Well, you supposed to call us if our barber gonna be late. I'm like, I didn't know.
Oh man, don't get me started with what's his face.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yo, he moved too. He finally moved to LA.
Oh, so he don't. Oh, okay. You don't cut him no more.
I was just starting to get used to him. I'm starting to get used to that maniac.
But using those situations to learn how to deal if you're ever behind with a client and stuff like that, how to talk to them and
smooth it out.
You learn what's worth it and what's
time
not worth
efficiency
it, and just balancing and getting as good as you can be with keeping quality and then still keeping time and yeah.
Yeah. You learn how to say yes and no too.
You do.
I mean, how many times would someone call in and me or Miguel would be like, nah, fuck that.
Nope.
Like that guy is not worth it.
Nope. Not doing it. I'm not setting myself up like that. I'm not gonna set my day up to start that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
hey, he said he's only 10 minutes away. It sounds like he's not even near the shop. Like, yeah, this is gonna just derail my whole shit, which will affect people coming back to me, which is, one of the most important things. So,
Right, you develop an instinct for it. Malcom see me. As soon as I read a name, I know exactly what's going to happen.
yeah. You just say the first name. Malcom knows who you're talking about. It's like,
it's not even that. It's like it's not even knowing. Not Malcom not knowing the person. It's me saying, if I see a particular name or whatever, instinctually I say, you know what, then I gotta feel this person gonna come in with long ass hair and he's gonna want this and this and that. And
he is so bro. He is so good with that. He'll look at somebody's last name and he'll be like,
"Yo, this motherfucker ain't got a haircut in 4 months."
You want to take him? I'm like, man, I already know why you don't. I'm not taking him. So like, and it's like I be bro as an apprentice. I'm like, I can't say no now. I can't be saying no to people right now. And then it's like Miguel
about too. Like turning away business is something you don't have the luxury of right now. You have to take everyone.
I can't learn. I take whether it's like, and bro, I'll be so scared with like scissor only cuts, but I'll be like, I can't say no. Like I gotta, if they, you know what I'm saying, I'ma just sit here. But like I said, take my time. Don't be trying to rush.
Whether it goes good or bad, you're gonna take something from it. You're like, you know what? I wish I would learn something. I'll do it next time.
I'm gonna learn something. Every single haircut, I learn something.
But that's also important. Continue your education, even after the shop, because I told Malcom that even still to this day that there's certain hairstyles I don't want to do, like long hair, scissor cuts. I'm not a stylist. I don't want to do stylist. I'm more the traditional classic barber that wants a clipper cut and maybe do some shear cutting. I don't mind doing like business style haircuts, but when you guys come in here with these fucking mops, it's like, I just want to trim. Go to a salon. You're wasting my time on this. I could be doing, I could be hooking somebody's fade up right now. Right. But that's just the way I feel. Some other barbers are like, but technically you're a barber, so you should be able to do all this. Like, I didn't say I couldn't. I just said I didn't want to.
Right. It's not something I prefer to do.
You see how that's a good influence and bad at the same time.
No, but I tell Malcom all the time, don't do as I do.
Don't do as I say, not as I do.
Don't do as I do, because I have the experience, to know what's within my forte, what I want to do, right? Because I told Malcom right now, take everything you can, because all that experience, what that's going to lead you to do is further refine where you want to be in your skill set, what type of people you want to work with. And, because I learned a long time ago, I'm not here to please everybody. I'm not here to cut everybody's hair. I have a specific type of clientele that I have in mind. And I'm not going to be doing everything. That's why one reason why I stopped doing designs. I just tell people I don't do designs anymore.
Right. Like, I feel like, Miguel, you're at a point in your career. I'm 6 years in and I can feel it already. Like, it's like we know what is going to like be more taxing for us and to like mentally wear us down. And like, I don't even want to like deal with the repercussions of having to do this haircut. And, half of the time you don't feel better about taking it either. Sometimes like at the stage, say at this older stage, you're thinking about just the long game instead of the short game more. You're just like,
right. But it's also a matter of being extremely careful with complacency.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
it's a very, very thin line between being selective and being complacent.
100%.
Because you notice that there's gonna be some barbers out there that say, no, I just want to cut afro hair. Some other barbers be like, no, I just cut straight hair.
Here's a question.
What's up?
On a slow day, guy walks in, you tell him the price. He's like, it's 80 for that. Can you do 60?
No.
Do you do it on a slow day?
I would not anymore. Not at this stage of my career. Well, okay, let's just say this. At this stage of my career, I would say normally 9 times out of 10, I would say no.
Yeah.
But if I'm getting a decent vibe from the guy, it's not a complicated haircut, and I make it clear that, look, I'm doing you this one solid for today. But don't come back in here asking me or any of my guys for discounts, because we're going to kick you the fuck out.
Right.
If you're upfront with people, and you feel like you want the money, sure.
Yeah.
Right. But at the end of the day, don't devalue yourself, because you don't want the type of clientele that's always going to come asking for discounts.
That's something I was told in barber school a long time ago. Never discount your work.
You never, it's like Ivan Zoot. He's a barber from Chicago. He does a lot of hair shows. He holds a couple of world records of fastest haircut.
He's great.
And, X amount of haircuts, within a 24-hour period. I went to some of his seminars. Definitely tried to absorb as much as I could from him, because especially it was a matter of speed. This dude does 5-minute haircuts, and talk about it didn't matter what it was, skin fade, shadow fade. He was done in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. And he demonstrated on a mannequin. I seen some of his videos. I bought his ebooks, some of his actual physical copy books, because he's a wealth of knowledge right there. He's one of those barbers that's been around for a long time. He has his niche clientele though.
Yeah.
He doesn't really do afro hair.
No.
He can, but he won't. Right. Because he has his clientele set. But what I was going to say about him is that he always said, like, listen, never discount yourself or your services. I'd rather you give your haircut for free than discount.
Yeah.
Because
I like that.
Because then you're not going to feel good after the haircut. At least at that point, that's me saying that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do with my beard services. If someone just like, I don't want to do hot towels or any of the things that are included in the service, just a quick tap, and then they're like, okay, what? Oh, I don't owe you anything. I'm like, no, it's free. I mean, I didn't do what's listed in my service. Like, if I'm going to do it, we're going to do the whole thing. I'm not going to half-ass do it and charge you for it. Like, I'm not even going to charge you then.
No, I mean, in a situation like that. For me, if it's a client that I've been servicing for some time, we have a good rapport, and sometimes I'll do it without even asking them,
Yeah.
Which you have to be careful with some people. Yeah, you do definitely have to be careful with, because some people are like, no, I'm not paying for that. No, dude, allow me to do this for you. I want to do this for you. Yeah. You don't have to tip me, but you do anyways. You're always blessing me, right? With extra.
Someone that comes in often, like there's a guy that asking for a discount. You see, he's got his hair down to his ass. Like, that's not someone that's gonna be worth this.
If it's some rando, then
you'll never see again. Yeah, fuck that.
I'll put it like this. Like I've had plenty of experiences with clients where, let's say, in the beginning of my career here in Georgia, during the recession. 2009, 10, 11, a lot of people were getting laid off.
Right.
I also, so I had clients not showing up for a while. I'm like, Joe, what happened? Where you been? Dude, I lost my job and I didn't feel right coming in here asking you for a haircut, or I couldn't afford a haircut, so I had to be very choosy. The reason why I'm in here today is because I have an interview.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh damn, man, I'm sorry to hear what happened. Boom, 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 go to the haircut. He goes to pay me. And I'm like, no, keep it. Keep your money, because what I want to do is that you've blessed me all these years. The price that I've been charging, now mind you, this is something I developed in barber school, this mentality, this philosophy. Because I had clients tell me, man, Miguel, I wish I can give you more. Right? But the haircut was $5 in barber school back then.
Right.
Right. And when somebody's paying $5 for a haircut and saying, man, I wish I could give you more, dude, who the hell am I to make them feel bad about their economic situation?
Right.
So that's something I took with me into my career, even to this day. If one of my clients is on downtimes, and and I don't advertise it either, because I don't want people taking advantage of it. But you begin to get this feeling that you're like, you know what, I'm gonna bless this man because I'm charging a price that I feel it's worth my skill set.
Yeah.
Anything beyond that the client gives me, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
They don't have to tip you.
Yeah.
Right. They don't.
I mean, yeah, that goes to the human layer of barbering. Like you're just being a human being with, principles that, you learn from your upbringing. Like, I mean, that's one of the best parts about this, Malcolm. You can put your spin on it. You can be a human being in certain situations, and you can still be firm and stern in certain situations too, where you understand you might be taken advantage of a little bit, or people will press you and push you, and into you making being confrontational sometimes. You can't shy away from that. I take it from me as someone that I am not Mr. Confrontation, and I say no sometimes. Yeah, but we're like the opposites of confrontation.
The opposites on that.
See, it's perfect. Malcolm is in the middle of both sides of the spectrum.
It's just all about what you give me, I'm gonna give back, and if I feel like you I know how to steer situations like that. But that comes from management, because I done dealt with a lot of y'all unruly clients before in the past, so I get it.
Yeah, you become a master reader of people. You're like a CIA agent. You're just like, yeah, I can read this guy's a maniac. Fuck that. Yeah. Or this guy's worth it. He's a good guy.
Or he's gonna be super meticulous about his hair, and
yeah. Which that day you might be feeling it. I did discount. I did give a guy a discount recently because I had turned away like 3 people in a row that wanted a discount, and I was like, fuck it, okay, let's do it today. So I mean, sometimes you could just pull one in, if you're feeling it, but based on what you're seeing too, like Miguel said, like you see a guy that's just like, this isn't my client. You know what your client looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. You start to develop that sense, or that that sixth sense of what type of clients you're looking for. Because if you sit down and take the time to say, you know what, my clientele base is family men between the ages of a certain income level. Once you start setting up that type of demographic, of clientele, mentally speaking, you start to attract those type of clients. And I think Malcom also shared with me a while back ago his idea of his type of clientele and what he wants to do with a particular community of clientele. And I don't know if you want to touch on that, Malcom.
Oh, I don't mind. It's fine. Yeah.
So if you want to, so with talking with me on our slow days, and me telling Malcom about that, he expressed a safe space that he wants to do, for a particular community, and he can go ahead and share that now.
So I was like saying the base of my barbering business would to be creating a safe space for people who are part of the LGBTQIAS+2 community. I want to eliminate the anxiety that comes with having to go into the barbershop, as male, female, or non-binary, a part of that community when it comes to getting their hair services. So that's, like I said, that's my, what I call it, that's my load of bread that I'm putting on the shelf, on the bread aisle for people to buy, because you got to put your bread on the shelf, because all that bread gets bought on the shelf. So my loaf may have a little more colors than the rest, but but no, seriously though, I'm definitely wanting to make sure that people in that space and in that community because we know how barbershop talk is, and we know how we don't even know how that's triggering some people while they're sitting there in the waiting section, waiting to get their haircut, or while they're in the chair.
Yeah.
There's numerous, and I know there's million out. Like I said, I would even do like interviews and stuff like that, just to have people to come out and just give a space and time where you were sitting in the chair getting your haircut and someone said something that defended you. It's numerous and millions and hundreds of thousands of stories from people who can say that. So my end game with barbering is to have a barber shop or a barber suite that allows anybody of the LGBTQIA community to come in and can kind of just exhale, knowing that while they're on the way en route to that space to get their haircut, they don't have to think about having to put on a front or have a type of machoism before they open the door and walk inside. So yeah.
That's very nice. I mean, it goes right back to the human thing we were talking about. That's your layer of human that you want to put into barbering. And I think that's beautiful, man. That's great. There was a shop like that in Arizona. I remember it was called like Electric Haven or something like that. But yeah, I mean, just non-binary barbers, even like just very welcoming to anyone and everyone. So yeah, man. I think that's special.
Making people feel comfortable. People feel comfortable. It's important. So a lot of people.
I've had plenty of clients that are just like shaking like a leaf the first time they come in. Sometimes you're just like, dude, chill out or
relax, chill, man. Yeah,
all right. Like whatever.
A lot of people who feel that way.
Yeah, man. I'm like, well, what? I'm like, what am I? Who am I? Like, I'm just here to take care of you and make you feel good, man. You feel however you want to feel, and yeah. I'm here, man. I'm a therapist in a way.
In a way, yeah. Barbers are a little bit. A little bit in a way. That's true.
Yeah, well, I ain't asking anybody if I can touch them.
and that's why working with this is crazy.
Yeah, that chick was just.
Why are you here? If I gotta ask you that question, why are you here? Fuck out the shop. Go to mom.
Miguel used to have a time at anguish though. Anguish used to have a time at anguish.
That's why I thought you guys' dynamic on here would be fun because I've just seen the chops busting going on, things like that. And,
yeah,
I thought it was cool that you guys were kind of in the same realm now, or the same shops. So Malcolm, you kind of get moved around, or you're kind of in one place now? Because Gina,
I was bouncing back and forth. Yeah, I was bouncing back and forth between Midtown and Buckhead, but I'm pretty much got myself stationed at Buckhead now. Nice. So I'm at one spot. Yep. But if they need help at Midtown, I definitely go help them out though. If they need help though.
Yeah, everyone's different on this, but I've never been the traveling barber. I don't like moving my things. Once they're in the place they're at, I'm fucking keeping them there. I hate.
Malcolm realized it not long ago when he forgot a couple things.
Right, and then you're in the middle of a haircut, especially in the beginning. I mean, you got that tunnel vision. You're
just imagine you packing some stuff, right? Okay, example.
Yeah.
Friday, last day at the shop, but you got clients on Saturday. Outside of the shop, mobile clients. You pack everything in for leave your one guard.
Oh no. That's
like, come on, man.
that's where you learn your implements, like your combs.
Yeah, right. I have to put that knowledge to use at that point because now
weather the storm.
Yeah, not the haircut. That's packing on 15 more minutes.
No, because I tell you what, it's happened to me. Like I'm going to go visit my grandmother. So all my aunts and uncles, my mother, everybody's together visit my grandmother because she wasn't doing too well. My uncle, God rest his soul, he says, Miguel, I'm gonna need you to cut my hair. Like, deal, I don't have my clippers. Don't worry about it. I got you. This man, he brings out his toiletry bag. Okay, I'm going through it. All there is a trimmer. And a couple of guards that go with that trimmer, some cheap combs that I would never use,
Right.
Right?
The trimmer's like that wide.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it was the wall burgundy one. I forget the name of that one. That
Peanut or something?
one. No, not the peanut. It's a wall brand. It had the burgundy. It kind of looked like the 5-star.
The detailer?
I think so.
Yeah.
And that detailer came
not
with
bad.
and it came with its own guards.
Yeah.
But he expected me to do a full skin fade haircut with just that alone. Put me on the spot.
Right.
I did it. I even surprised myself.
You got it done.
I got it done.
That's what you got to do.
But and there was another occasion where I did forget my one guard, but I remember what I learned about a particular comb, your fade comb that you normally get in your kits at school, or that comes with the wall, or most of your clippers. That one black or white comb. That one functions as a number one guard if you know how to properly use it, and then also using your angles to do a fade. So that's happened to me before. I even broke a one guard. One of the teeth on there broke off, and I couldn't just leave the client to go to the beauty supply.
Yeah.
So there's going to be occasions where you're gonna get put in a position where you have to perform.
No doubt.
So,
I already have. I'm
and
depressed.
you-
Sometimes people are just like super set on what they're doing, and then they get asked for something else, and it's like, oh God, what am I doing now? Oh God. Like my wife will do that shit. We're going out to the park. There's a Christmas thing, and then all of a sudden, okay, we're gonna go over here after. No, that wasn't part of the plan. Why are we doing this now?
I
It's like
stopped
an
at the park.
ADD situation.
Let's go the fuck home. So like, yeah, sometimes you get put in that situation behind the chair, and they're gonna throw curveballs at you, or you're gonna put in the position. Hey, you want to do my goatee real quick while you have a client waiting outside or in the waiting area? It's like, do I do it? Is it worth it? So yeah, it's all these situations are gonna get tossed at you. Now's a great time for you, just learning how to deal with them, and hopefully you see everything you need to see before you take that next leap into whatever that next step is for you. Whether it's just being an employee, changing shops, owning a shop, suite, whatever it may be. So yeah, man. That's dope. So how you guys handling the holiday rush right now? It's the holiday season, and then we'll close out.
For me, it's not much of a rush, honestly. At least not compared to what I'm used to. I'm used to every chair being full with 30 other people waiting to get their haircut.
Yeah.
And then
what's the deal with that? I feel like Thanksgiving I was getting a little nervous because I think it was the last week I was going to be in town. At the top of the week, it was too spotty and I'm like, everyone's going to wait until these last 2 days. Someone's going to get left out. And then I feel like I let them down. I couldn't take care of them when they needed me. And I'm like, okay, that's why you stress and like, okay, guys, book early. I'm telling you, this is going to happen. If you don't book early, you're going to get left out. And I have a guy right now and I can't really find a place for him because he doesn't get his haircut often enough. So I'm like, I'm going to squeeze in someone else when I do get an opening that's asking that comes a little more regular. And so you kind of reason with those things too. But yeah, this Christmas rush, it's been everyone's scheduling and I'm able to get ahead of any headaches that could happen. And yeah, everything's kind of smoother this holiday rush around. But yeah, it does seem just like not as bombarding as it should be. You know what I mean?
Well, but I mean, people in the city are different than those up in the suburbs or urban areas, right? Well, the difference, I believe, is that they get their haircut once every month or 2 or 3. That's where my experience working in the city has been like. Working up in suburbs with more blue-collar folk, they tend to do every 1 or 2 weeks. Yeah. So it does help develop a consistency that you can kind of, if you're in an area long enough, you get to learn how to read the ebbs and flow of the community that you're serving.
Yeah.
And that'll help you better understand how to communicate with your clients. I used to tell people all the time that when they were booking their appointments with me, dude, you got to call me 3 days in advance. And then it became a week in advance.
Yeah.
Right. And this is before the holidays. Right. The holidays come along. Now I'm kind of changing tactics a little bit. And I'm like, hey, just so you know, I'm going to be working Thanksgiving Day from this hour to that hour. Let me know if you want to pre-book it now, or make sure you hit me up a week in advance or whatever. Right. If you once you know your clientele, the community schedules more or less, or how often they get their haircuts, I think that helps you develop a reminding service for them. Like, hey, listen, this is what's happening. Mind you, this is before social media, so I'm talking to the client directly during or before they leave my chair.
Yeah.
You know what's coming up, right?
Sometimes they still don't listen though. Like I was trying to get ahead of it, and you just start reaching out to them. You're like, I know this guy always waits too long. Let me just go ahead and send this out a couple weeks ahead. And that's once you get to know your clientele, that stuff will happen.
And then like now with the advent of what the technology is now with these booking apps or social media, you can even send reminder posts through these apps
like a blast of some sort.
And it's so convenient. I'm telling you, so much. That's what I said. Malcom is in a very good place right now to be able to take advantage of the technology this year, because I used to take appointments via the phone while having a client in the chair and one waiting to make an appointment right there, right in front of me. Walked in the shop, hey, Miguel, what you got for today? I'm like, give me 1 sec. I'm on the phone. I'm like, yo, what time? Bet, I got you. And then what time you want? Boom, I got you. And the guy in the chair is still waiting for his haircut.
Yeah. You just set everything up right there.
Yeah. So it's a really good time for a lot of barbers to be in right now to take advantage of the technology. And if you're not taking advantage of the technology, it's because you just don't want to.
Right. Yeah. You're resisting it too much. You need to get
with the time. Lazy. Or just lazy. They're like, oh, I don't know the technology. I don't know how to do this. Dude, YouTube it.
Yeah, research. Yeah, research.
You have a phone, right?
There's always
some people act like they don't,
right?
No, there's always that one guy in the shop who's always on social media that knows the ins and outs.
Yeah.
Talk to him.
Yeah. That's a good point. It's funny. You made me think of the frequency of what people came in earlier, and serving a lot of the LGBT community. You're talking about a culture of people that care about what they look like.
Yeah. Heavy on it.
So those holiday parties have been going on this past couple of weeks, and so I've been pretty busy with those just before the actual holiday. People don't want to be embarrassed at the holiday parties.
They want their haircuts crispy.
They don't want to feel like they're being left behind. But then again, that's up to you. This is where you kind of separate yourself from other barbers. But you also have to be careful doing it. And what I'm referring to is your schedule. You could be a 9-to-5 barber, for example. Let's just say that's what your schedule is, and you can hold true to it. Or you can be that one barber that keeps taking clients day in day, past their closing time. But they want to, some of them charge more for that, or they just say, no, this is my dude, I've been cutting for, I'll stay the extra hour. I did that today. One of my old clients from Gwinnett, again, coming from that shop, he just texted me out the blue this afternoon, like, Miguel, listen, I got this thing going on tomorrow morning. Tomorrow there's a Christmas party. Can you please fit me in? I'm like, do I want to? No, because I want to be able to spend time with my family.
Right.
But, he's been supporting me all these years. I've been cutting this kid's hair for almost 10 years now, So
that's
I was like,
something you got to make significant others realize, too. It's tough, It's like, sometimes you will break your back for the people that come in every week, or the people that, like, that if you just looked at your resource and saw how much money they pay you in a year, it's just like, I can't let this guy down. Like, I got to take care of this person. So.
Right. And once in a blue moon, sure, why not? You know,
Right.
take care of your people because they've been taking care of you.
Absolutely. Especially during that slow time that's right around the corner. Like, that's a good time to take care of them, make them feel like, hey, I know you're still here. Like, I appreciate your patronage still to this day.
Absolutely. But and like you said, with family, that's something that they have to understand. Like, I didn't take many vacations during my tenure because, I want to set a precedence in the shop with my clientele and even other people's clientele. Because they knew that. And it's funny when I tell people this, clients is like, yo, is that Miguel? When are you here? I'm like, shoot, when am I not here? Right? I'm like furniture. I'm always here. Right? And when you create that dependability,
that reputation,
yeah, when clients feel like they could depend on you being when you say you're going to be there, that sets you aside from everybody else that you're working alongside, whether it's the barbershop or the suite. Other clients will watch you.
Yeah, they'll give you your own reputation. They'll just be like, he's always on vacation. He's always doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, how many days a week do you want to work, Malcolm? Once you're done,
Probably 4 days a week. Probably like 11 to like 8 or 9 o'clock.
11 to 8 or 9. Oh, whoa, that's an interesting time slot, which could work. Some people like those. Some people are working all day and they get off work and they want options, and that's one thing. I have to stop working at 5, and there's always people who's like, why do I feel like you're always booked up after 5? I'm like, I'm gone. It's not booked up.
He's got biker's hours.
Right. So you got to come in Saturday when I am working past that time.
Yeah.
So, or when you're off. But yeah, you'll develop and kind of understand what works best for your group of people you have in there. And the scheduling is a big thing. But yeah, seeing the Anguish schedule, most people worked 4 days in there. That was a good bar set.
It was a man. That's where I got it from. That's where I got the idea from Anguish.
Yeah.
It was just a good, like that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 11 to 7.
Yeah. You get 3 days off in a row.
Mm-hmm. Or even do that Wednesday through Saturday too.
Yeah, that's my schedule.
Wednesday through Saturday. Yeah.
Wednesday through Saturday, 9 to 5, and then Saturday 9 to 6, or 8:30 sometimes. It depends. I'm in the shop like 30 minutes early anyway, so half the time I'll take someone early, or when you have a kid, back to the family, making that work, like today, the only reason why I'll do people on my day off is like, okay, I'm already halfway to the city if I'm bringing my daughter to school. And if they can come in right after that time I drop her off, then okay, I'll make the rest of the drive and go cut a couple heads, make a couple $100 or something. And then, I'll feel good at the end of the week that I did that when I see it all add up, and I'm taking off a week for Christmas. So yeah, man, I mean, you figure out what works best for you, and what's gonna make you the most money while keeping you happy and keeping your skills refined, and fitting in life.
Yeah,
you gotta live life. I mean, you can't be one of these people at Chipotle that's fucking hating their life that I see every day at noon at work.
Okay, right there on Peachtree Street, man.
One day I ordered a mobile order, and I must have not hit like order, and I walked in, they didn't have it, and I'm like, okay, never mind, I'll just order it the old school way. And then just like I heard someone say, "Yay!" just in the most sarcastic voice, being there. And then I was like, never mind, I'll go back to the mobile one. I'll deal with people that actually seem like they like life.
That's crazy.
But dude, you gotta fit in some life too. Don't forget that.
Yeah, you
gotta find that balance. That's all it is. So my guys, when's your guys' last day of work before taking a little break?
I was on break
Well,
for
what
my
break?
birthday, so
I
after
don't know
this,
what kind of break you're referring to, because,
You're working Christmas Day?
hell no.
Well, that's a break, right? What
Yeah.
day is it on? Like Wednesday?
No,
Or
I
something?
think I do a half day on Christmas Eve and a full day off on Christmas Day.
What are your guys' thoughts on New Year's Eve? You take that, or New Year's Day and Eve? You take that off, or you working?
I'm working New
No,
Year's Eve.
I'm working.
I'm working too.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful, man. When you're working in a shop with other people on Christmas Eve, they talk a lot of shit.
Oh yeah, everyone's hammered.
No, not even Christmas Eve. No, I tell you, I'll put it like this.
Deal with that.
The barbers that I worked with before, we were all like, "Oh yeah, we're about to make this money. This is this and that." Yeah, yo, what time you working until, man? I'm working until whenever, until the last client. Really? Okay. What about you? Yo, oh, hell yeah, I'm gonna try to make this bread.
Yeah.
Okay. What did I do? Clients kept calling me. I took clients all the way till past closing time, 8 or 9 o'clock at night. What those motherfuckers did?
Yep.
Yo, by 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody dipped.
Yeah, I mean it does. It's a day I really have tried to avoid. I ain't going out New Year's Eve. That's just me. It's not a day I like to be out. Or a night I like to be out. So I'm like, even if I do go out or go to a party at a house or something, that shit's a nighttime. So I work during the day. People are definitely, that's like the last hurrah before, the slow time can kind of start to settle in. People just disappear. It gets cold. Like, I'll wait another week, so.
Yeah, well, that's another thing about understanding seasonality in our business,
Yeah.
Usually that first 1 or 2 weeks, maybe 3, or the whole month of January, it's super slow.
Yeah.
So developing a consistency, during those times, it's going to be important, So that's why understanding the type of clientele you have or you're looking to obtain is going to be very important to keep you consistent throughout the year. Because if not, you're going to have to really play some serious math games with your money, during that last month or last quarter to make sure you survive the first quarter of the following year,
Yeah. That's something I'm sure you're learning too, Malcolm, right? With the money management, seeing all this new money, trying to be like,
But
man, let me get a couple of things I've been waiting on.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be careful, not going too far.
Yeah, that's true. But everything with just moderation, everything in moderation. So
there you go.
Yeah.
It's like basketball. It's a game of runs. There's gonna be a 10-0 run, and then there's gonna be an 0-10 run too. So
gotta understand both.
All right. Well, my guys, I think we put on a little good pod tonight. Appreciate you guys making the time. Late night. Well, Malcolm was off today, right?
Yeah, I was off today. Yeah.
Yeah, let me make some money today.
There you go.
Yeah, I got a few walkers.
I let them make a few dollars. You know what I'm saying? While I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? But when I come back, though, it's clipped.
I'll leave some crumbs on the table for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Just put a little something on my plate.
Please.
But for real, yeah.
All right. Well, my guys, that concludes another.
The microphone went out.
Can you hear me?
Now, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have a Merry Christmas and good night. And yeah, man, let's push this episode out.
All right.
Happy holidays, y'all.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, guys.
Happy New Year. Peace.
Happy New Year.
Good night.
Good night. What is that?
The Your
Barber Podcast. New episodes come out weekly on Sunday. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Apple Podcast and Spotify to be notified when new content is posted. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.